Welcome to World Cup Weekly. It hasn't yet been a full week, but we have Dave and we also have Adam here. It's lovely to have you guys. We're going to talk about the World Cup, obviously, and it's actually been a really good first few days. The biggest headline of all of them during this World Cup so far has been the absolute thrashing that Spain took against Holland. A lot of people saying end of an era, Dave.
I'd say it could potentially be an end of, maybe not an era, but certain players, maybe, coming to the end of their careers. You're looking at Xavi, maybe wasn't his best performance. The two centre-backs, you've got to look at them as well. Obviously, Ramos has had a top season, but he looked very shaky. Both of them, Piqué and Ramos, looked very shaky against Robben's directness and his pace. So I think it could be an end of an era.
Obviously, it was such a breathtaking win. It was a shocking win. I think it is tempting to sort of draw these big conclusions from it, but I think it almost feels like the culmination of a decline in that sort of style of football.
But a perceived decline, though, isn't it? I mean, it just because one style of football is on its way up doesn't mean that another one has to be on its way out. They're not on a seesaw like that.
Yeah, but it feels like these sort of things come in cycles, right? So it feels like, because what we're saying, we're talking about the players, we're saying, the reason that style of football has been so successful is because players like at Barcelona, we had Xavi, Puyol, all these sort of players who are sort of coming to the end of their careers for both Barcelona and for Spain. Yeah. So it feels like, because of that, that's why the system isn't working. We look at Iker Casillas, who's been such a big part of Spain's success, had a bit of a horror show against the Netherlands there. Although he made a couple of good saves.
I mean, it was also, we should say, an excellent performance from the Netherlands.
Yeah, right? I'd say they should get a lot of credit for the win from the game, but it's
Van Gaal should,
especially. Van Gaal, yeah.
I mean, Manchester United fans must be just dreaming of next season. Yeah. I'm still not sure that this is defining of Spain right now, though. I mean, 5-1 might be a defining historic result, but it does not define Spain as a team. I think they're better than that for a start, and I think maybe tactically they will improve in this tournament. But they're on the precipice of going out. Lose against Chile, who a lot of people are tipping as a very good tactical team in this tournament, and they're out. They lack a leader and a linchpin, is what people are saying. Let's talk about England. Their leaders, their linchpins, were not really very present in the match against Italy, were they?
Yeah, I think a lot of people obviously singled out Rooney. The debate now is, should Rooney be dropped?
Should Rooney be dropped?
I don't know if he should be dropped, but he doesn't accommodate that role on the left at all well. Like he did create 3 chances, got the assist for the goal, but defensively wasn't sort of switched on at all. Like the amount of times Leighton Baines had that issue where they'd have a fullback coming at him and then another player dropping in behind, and then it's just there wasn't much protection there. And I think that Wayne Rooney's not played left midfield for Man United for about 5 seasons now.
It's the classic England problem, isn't it? In a sense, that he's a very talented player. He's intelligent footballing wise, and he knows how to play with other players in a number of different positions. So he gets sacrificed for the strengths of others. And maybe he's being sacrificed for the strengths of Sturridge, for the strengths of Sterling within this side. And some people therefore are posing the question, what if we were to play Wayne Rooney as a striker and sacrifice some other people as more positive points?
I like the idea of Wayne Rooney as a striker, but I just think in this next game against Uruguay, which is so crucial, why not play him in the number 10 role, which he's played in the last few seasons, which is his position. Play Welbeck on the left, Sterling on the right, as he has for Liverpool.
And Sturridge just in front.
Sturridge up top. See if it doesn't work, bring on Ross Barkley from Wayne Rooney in the second half. See if that works.
Yeah.
But play him in his position, and then we can sort of criticise him. But it feels a bit, with Dave saying he did contribute to the game. He made the assist. Why not play him in his position and then criticise him if he doesn't perform then?
What are France doing, eh? They did well.
Very, very energetic midfield. Very, Matuidi, Pogba, a lot of energy. They can cover the flanks very well with the system that France do play with the wide players coming in. I think it's a nice thing to have energy in this World Cup. Yes,
and that energy is put into one point up front, Benzema. They seem to feed everything back towards him. It's actually quite a nice system to watch, isn't it? And they want to cut back an awful lot, which they're allowed to do against Honduras.
Could they go all the way, Laurence?
No, they couldn't,
Why
Adam. Not? Because there's better teams in the tournament than France who will find them out tactically in the end and mark someone like Benzema out of the game. That's what. No, I genuinely think that's the case. Yeah, someone will find a way of getting around them, and they'll run at that back line more than Honduras did. I mean, I think I was sitting in the pub watching France against Honduras, and people were cheering when it was 3-0. And I mean, I turned to my friend and said,
"Should be more.
That's what you should be doing against Honduras." Yeah. Honduras were really trying to bring them down, though, weren't they? And in many ways, France reacted. Pogba could have been sent off and should have been sent off.
Should have been sent off, for the kick out.
There were a couple of times they need to be broken up from other players. That's possibly another time when someone's going to get... Someone like Argentina really could get under French skin. Mascherano just constantly chipping away at you. That's gonna hurt, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
Adam, South American teams are looking at home in this tournament, aren't they?
You could say that, yes.
Yeah, everyone but Uruguay.
Everyone but Uruguay, who had an absolute shocker against Costa Rica. But yeah, I think all the South American teams, obviously, all the talk before was like the climate, you know, they're all going to be used to it. But they all look very at home, all look very impressive. Brazil, Argentina, Colombia as well. Although Chile as well, we're saying could even knock out Spain in the next game. Tactically,
they're very dominant teams, aren't they? All South American teams at this tournament want to dominate the game, and you know, even if they're not looking to dominate possession, they will be a very powerful side like Colombia on the break. It's quite interesting to see how they're doing so far, isn't it? Because it's all very on trend in terms of world football right now, how they're choosing to play their football. Do you think that there's a possibility a European side can find them out, maybe tactically outthink one of these teams?
So Colombia, against Greece, they, like you're saying, they dominated the game, but they didn't dominate the game with the ball, they dominated the game without the ball. They looked very, very exciting on the break. James Rodriguez looked really good. He had 6 shots, more than any other player in the game. Obviously scored the goal. Looked a threat. Cuadrado, 2 assists, joint with Daley Blind. But it's whether they can go the whole way in terms of their defence, maybe not as solid as possible. You've got Yepes and Zapata. Are they going to be up there with the top centre-backs in world football? Are they going to be able to deal with the likes of, say, Diego Costa, Neymar, Messi?
Well, we'll see. Well, I mean, that's the interesting thing, isn't it? Is in a tournament like this, it's not necessarily that you have to be the top class. You have to be in form for that tournament. And if these teams are in form for the tournament, that's great. You might say that about Chile especially. But, I mean, Argentina themselves as well. Let's talk Argentina.
That goal that Messi scored was absolutely brilliant.
When it came down to it, he performed.
He stepped up.
Yeah,
I think the system sort of based around him and the tactics based around their captain, which is obviously very important. But he was quiet for most of the game. But like you say, that the one moment where he had to step up, he did. So it's encouraging. Hopefully he can do that for the rest of the tournament. They've got an easy group. So yeah, see how far they can go.
I think it's just freeing that Messi. He completed 7 take-ons, which is a joint tournament high as well with Oscar. Completed 7 in Brazil's first game. So it really is Messi. Get the best out of Messi. Argentina are going to win the World Cup.
Yeah, dear Maradona.
Well, speaking of Messi, key trends in the tournament is that it has been a little bit messy so far. There's been some own goals, there's been a couple of defensive mistakes. It's been quite... I mean, it's been exciting football, but like we said, it's been quite frenetic at times and forced a lot of teams into making some silly decisions.
I think it's been, obviously, goals have been aplenty. In the 2010 World Cup, there was 18 goals after 11 games, and so far in this World Cup, we've had 37 goals. So we've seen a lot of goals, which has been brilliant, to be quite honest. If it continues at this rate of 3.4 goals per game, we're going to see the highest amount of goals at a World Cup ever.
Yeah.
Be 215 goals. There's a lot of goals for everyone to get excited about, which is a good thing. So everyone thought, or personally, I thought Brazil was going to be a boring World Cup because it was too hot, but it looks like it's been absolutely brilliant.
Let us know in the comments below what you've thought so far, what you've seen and observed. We'd love to hear your comments. Thank you very much, Adam. Thank you very much, Dave. It's been lovely to have you, and thank you for watching. We'll see you again soon.